Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your reading today. Today's reading is going to be a general reading. I just started this channel yesterday. I've been reading for quite a few years now. I've been interested in tarot for many, but really got seriously into it a few years ago through a series or turn of events, if you will. I don't want to talk too much here just so I can focus on you. You are the star of the show here today. So let's see what we come up with. Interesting. I think I've gotten this card once before in the years that I've had this deck. Intricacies in industry. Okay. So this is focusing more on career, it looks like, and whatever you're up to. It looks like you've been working on a project for some time now. This is something where you've had to tear down a foundation, okay, strip something down that had already been formed. So, whether this is a literal building or if this is just you, right, or a project that you've been working on. It's something that was already there to begin with, but you're remodeling it. So you're basically tearing it all down and building it back up again. And you're making headway. It's gorgeous. The foundation on this looks strong. So it's something definitely that you have been putting a lot of heart and soul into. It looks like a solo project. So I do tend to wonder if this is work on yourself. Yes, and you've made many plans for this. Again, this is something that's been in the works for quite some time. This isn't something, a project that you kind of just started. The Architect, right. So another another card of building, okay? I see you very excited about this. And I don't know if you're dealing with multiple things right now, but certainly the energy in this card is one of excitement where you actually do have other people helping you with this, and you're kind of the one leading the way. You know exactly what you want, you know exactly how to get there, and you're quite excited to see this come to fruition. So it could be even that you started out on this project. Like I said, it could be an actual project, like a work project, or it could just be one of working on yourself. You started out alone, it started out fairly small, and it looks like it's evolving now into something much bigger. It's really coming along. You're really excited about this. You're proud of this. And you actually have people working with you now or working for you now. And it's become a lot bigger of a project, that's for sure. Okay. Balance card coming out next. Yeah. The very first thought that I get from this is really learning to balance what's important in life. I think through this process, it's likely that you've had to learn how to balance work, balance play, organization, fairness. Yes. And by taking some time out and reflecting on this, I don't know if there's times throughout the day where you do go into an office or into a space that's yours, that's, clean and organized and just very peaceful and calm and that sort of thing. By doing this, by going into this space, and it can be even your own mind, with meditation or what have you, by doing this, you're leading into an even brighter future, okay? So even more prosperity, more goodness. Yeah, I just heard balance is key, okay? Yeah, like with this project, and I'm just going to label it that. I think, I've described what it could possibly be and take what resonates for you and apply it. But with this project, I think you've had to learn to balance. I think sometimes you might get a little excited about it and you might be carried away and immerse yourself in it. And I think it's just always a reminder to you to maintain that balance. so that you kind of don't get off kilter, right? Maintain your energy. Next up, we have the Five of Scrolls, Diversity. This is generally my card of someone who's a little bit older providing guidance to you. Okay, so this is someone that might have helped you along the way. There's somebody that's very well read. There's somebody that writes a lot. And there's somebody just with wisdom that they have to impart to you. So typically that's what this card means for me in a reading, but let's just see what other cards follow and see what direction that goes. Potentially this is somebody that helped you understand how to balance, or helped you to maintain this balance while you're working on this project. This person is going to be, like I said, probably older than you. You're going to be someone, who works maybe in an office that's quite lovely. It's quite calm. Their energy could be calm. Very, how do I describe this? Somebody who really values simplicity and beauty around them, okay? A gentle person, not someone that's forceful or rude or anything like that, but like a gentle mother, even a gentle grandmother for you, okay? Oh dear. It's funny because the Six of Roses actually came out while I was doing the pre-shuffle. Isn't that interesting? So that's called the War of the Roses. And then we've got the Lookout after that. It's almost like there was some turbulence here. Yeah, I'm just going to put that up there because what I'm seeing here is a lot different compared to the energy we've got up here. Yeah, so I do believe whoever this was, this person here in the diversity card, I do believe they're the ones that helped you or help remind you, teach you about balance in your life. Getting a lot of upset here. This is interesting. It's quite chaotic. I don't know if you had an idea of some sort that you, and if it's part of this project that you held quite dear, that you protected. I just heard standoff. There was some sort of conflict, and whether it was, it really does feel like it's a group of people versus just one person, but it's like this conflict of going up against each other, okay, to do battle. And there was somewhat of a lightning bolt moment, okay, in the Tree of Life. When the Tree of Life gets hit by a bolt of lightning, it can be quite jarring. Your life can really change and upside down. I really feel like these cards should be reversed here. I really do feel like this is something that you were protecting. And there was some sort of conflict with the group. So I don't know if this had to do with a contract of some sort, but there was a conflict in any event, and you were going up against a lot of either people or forces or what felt like like a battle of your life sort of thing. And with this, there was a sudden change, there was a sudden shock, there was a sudden like disaster, really, that took down a foundation of some sort. And so I don't know if it again relates to this foundation here that you've been building back up, but certainly whatever this was, it was a negative outcome. And in fact, we end up at the Lookout. So with this disaster, with this shock, it really took the wind out of your sails, I'm hearing, and it actually set fire to the sail. And so it did do damage. And I think you were quickly looking for a way out, perhaps. looking for a way to, I'm hearing protect your idea, okay, to keep that protected, to keep it close to you. Yeah, it's not like you ever gave up and kind of rolled over anything. You looked out towards the future to see what, you know, I just heard too, you almost, it's almost like you saw this coming, okay? It's like you saw this coming. It's because you're looking backwards here. And so I don't know if you had a fear that this would come and this is why you were protecting this so carefully. It feels very precious to you, but certainly you may have seen it coming, and it did do damage. It did. But however, it looks like it didn't take you out entirely. It's something that, you know, did damage, but you've been able to recuperate, you've been able to rebuild, you've been able to maintain balance, and it looks like through the help of this person. Next up, we've got the Fated Meeting. I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. Right place, right time, I'm hearing. Yeah, let's see what else, what other cards we get out of here. I might pull some clarifiers just to get a sense of, you know, what this great disaster was, get a little more clarity around that. But let's just finish off this row and see. Oh my. Interesting. Okay. These actually came out in the reverse, but I'm feeling drawn not to read them in reverse today. So this is interesting because the energy in here relates somewhat to this energy, okay? And so I think this is just going more on the story. So what we have here, we have like a fated meeting. And typically for me, this card means, you know, a love relationship of sorts, okay? It looks like this did not end well, though. It's something like right place, right time. This is a very magical feeling to it. In this meeting, if you were involved with somebody, it would have felt like destined, obviously. This person would have changed your life. I think there's a lot of beautiful things behind this. Absolutely beautiful, almost heaven sent. You know, if I could say, you know, the angels kind of guiding this love relationship. I don't know if 12 is a significant number for you. So, you know, if you met them on the 12th, you met them in the 12th month. In any event, that's drawing my attention. This is beautiful. Somewhat of a fairy tale, though, I'm also getting. As I look around here, there's nobody else around. The town looks totally dead. What are the chances, right, that in the middle of this place that no one else would be there? So potentially this meeting was absolutely fated, felt heavenly, felt like it was sent from the heavens, but actually ended very badly because the card we have coming up next to it is the Two of Keys. It's called the Treasure, okay? And this is somebody, typically, I see this in relationship breakups and loss where somebody has come back to discover that someone has left them and they've taken everything with them. And this person feels absolutely desolate. They feel absolutely heartbroken. And how am I going to start over? I can't believe I got duped. I can't believe someone took all of my things. They even took like my very last penny, sort of thing. I feel like this is keeping you awake at night. You think about this. It's kind of ruminating over and over and again in your mind, okay? Next to it, we have the Willow. And so typically the Willow really stands for being able to withstand the winds of change, okay? I find it interesting that it sits underneath the lightning bolt with that tree getting hit by the lightning there. So you can see the willow tree there. So typically when we think of a willow tree, we think of the ability, like I said, to bend and move with the tides of change. It is next to water, and that always draws my attention in that that's dealing with the emotions. And so I think this is quite an emotional loss for you, as well as financial, I'm feeling. And I think maybe at times you found it really hard. You really did struggle with the ability to kind of go with the flow and to bend in the wind, if you will. It was very difficult for you to do that. And perhaps this is where this person came in, you know, and helped guide you through learning how to bend in the wind, you know, to deal with change, to deal with trauma, to deal with upset, and put that balance back into your life, and then rebuild on the things that you had lost through this here. So again, if this wasn't an actual project of yours, this could be a relationship, right? Where you came up a lot against. I feel it's almost like a mix of both. I feel like this might have been something, there might have been business investments with this person, some sort of financial investments of some sort, and it's all come crashing down sort of thing. But that said, through this, you've learned a lot and you're rebuilding and you're actually getting back on your feet again. The reflection card is beautiful. Actually, in the years I've had this deck, not that I use it a lot, I've never gotten this card. Gorgeous. I think this is also just another supporting card saying that you have spent time reflecting back on this. You have spent time working on yourself, rebuilding, learning balance, that sort of thing. And there's a peacefulness that comes with that. And I think through the end of this, as tumultuous as it was, particularly in here, you really have come to a place where you feel calm, where you feel settled. I don't know that your mood is particularly great. I think there are times, particularly at night, where you feel, you might feel kind of quite low. Not that you feel completely alone, but just, reflecting back on that and feeling some of that darkness. But in darkness, we always know that there will come light, right? And as you can see, there is still light in here. You can see the houses behind have left their lights on, the light of the moon, so it's not that complete and utter darkness and that chaos that you can really feel on this card here, okay? So, I'm just wondering if I should pull another card on this fated meeting. Sure, why not? What's our time? Yeah, we're only at 16 minutes, so let's give it a whirl here and see what we can get from this relationship. Spirit, could you please tell us a little more about this relationship? One more. And how this relationship affected our Cancer. What are the details of this relationship that led to all of this tyranny and destruction? Despair. Yeah. I think this really did a number on you. Despair is again what I really, when I see this card, I think of financial loss, not even so much the emotional, but it's interesting if you look at these two cards here, very similar energies in here, right? Even how they're holding their head. I don't like to get gender specific in the readings. Sometimes it's hard and I find myself doing that regardless, but this is, to me, this despair is financial. Like you may have lost everything, everything but yourself, and you are able to rebuild. So it's, there certainly was a period where I don't think you ever dreamed that, you could possibly rebuild your life again, but you have, okay? Official person came out as well. The energy I'm feeling in this with the official person is I'm really, again, being drawn to the fact that this person helped you. Someone in a position of authority helped you regain this balance that you needed, okay, to regain your life. And again, this might have been someone that you paid. So it could be, like a psychologist or a counselor. I don't necessarily get that it's a friend or family member. It could be. But I feel like it's more official, a doctor of sorts, if you will, even. Spirit, any more details about this relationship or about this situation that Cancer found themselves in? If you're going through this right now, just keep in mind this top row here, okay, and the good things that are coming out of it. Have faith, trust that you will be able to rebuild again, whichever way that looks like. Yeah, it's possible that you had a family with this person, but certainly I think you had a lot. There was a very comfortable home, a beautiful home, some place that you just felt at ease, very comfortable, but it's empty, okay? And so I do really feel like I do feel like it was a divorce or a separation or, of some sort. Yeah, exactly. It's really drawing me back again to this poverty, toil, and labor. Okay. So, again, very dark energy in these cards and really talking about feeling tired, exhausted, really having to work yourself up again after having something that was so beautiful, so gorgeous. I mean, you worked hard for it, you attained it, you protected it. This could be, if this was a divorce or separation, this could be financial loss, loss that you suffered through this separation with someone that you thought was the one. Um, you know, but yes, you know, again, this is the bottom. So if you're not currently going through this, this will have been in the past, okay, where you had to start. I'm just hearing start from the bottom to the top, okay. Um, just gonna ask if there's any. Yeah, interesting. On the bottom of the deck, there's pathway. Okay, so just again, this is another card of hope. It's another card of going down a path towards the light. Okay, where there are going to be better times. You are going to come out of this if you aren't already or haven't already come out of this. I'm just going to get one of these spirit message cards. Sorry, not spirit message cards. It's actually, it's called A Yoke Path by Sahara Rose. And I absolutely love this deck because I find the messages are so uplifting, very well balanced, and they always seem to really resonate with the reading. So let's get you one of those cards for your advice, because I think, the story here has been pretty well explained, and I think that the clarifying cards have been quite clear to confirm and reinforce what has happened or is happening and what's to come, or what is, the positives coming out of this now. Let's just see what messages you get here. Please, if you're enjoying this reading, please do like the video, subscribe so that you can be made aware of when more content comes out. You got to hit the little bell button, right, to get notified of that. It's my absolute pleasure to do these readings, and I would love for you to be part of this collective. Okay, Spirit, any advice for our lovely Cancer today? What's the advice for our lovely Cancer today, who have gone through absolute hell and back? I just heard focus on your strength. Okay, if you are in times of reflection where it is feeling quite dark, Spirit's asking you to think about and really feel the ways that you have turned things around. Okay, yes, it was awful, but here you are again, and just getting that. We started at the bottom from the top. Is that a song by Drake? Yeah, you might want to listen to that song, see if there's some lyrics in there that resonate with you. Oh, wow, you got two cards. Okay, and they both came out in the reverse. She does do reversals in this deck, so let's see. You got, the first one is Durga, and the second one was Tapas. Those are gorgeous cards. Okay, I always read from the book in these. I don't actually feel called ever, not once have I ever, felt called to read intuitively from these cards, and her messages are honestly so valuable that I wouldn't dare. Okay, so Durga, our first. Is Durga a deity? Yeah, Durga's a deity. Okay, so Durga is the goddess of inner strength and protection. Perhaps you feel anxious, sad, lost, or confused and could use a bit of strength to power you through this. Just remember that hardships are temporary and an opportunity to develop tenacity. The one thing you can instantly change are your present thoughts. The rest will shift after that. Repeat the Durga mantra for her beloved guidance. She exists within. Like you see, this this card represents exactly what we've been talking about in this reading here, okay? So, it could be that you are currently experiencing this. So I want you, even if you have to rewind, to go back and listen to the parts about when life starts to come back up again, okay? You can do this, absolutely. Okay, and the second one, Tapas. Tapas is Niyama, self-discipline. This is a yogic card. The difference between humans and animals is tapas, discipline. Though we have animalistic urges, we can train the mind to move beyond them toward a greater good for ourselves and for those around us. Discipline will mean different things for different doshas at different times. For vatas, discipline will mean following through with the task at hand and seeing their visions to completion. For pittas, discipline will mean honoring the mind and body by resting when needed. For kaphas, discipline will mean committing to a movement and health regimen that makes them feel inspired. Ask yourself, where do I need more discipline? Am I seeing my visions to completion or starting new projects before finishing the ones that matter? Am I challenging myself too much or too little? Am I showing up for my personal, physical, and self-care practice every day? So again, really encouraging you to seek out that balance. And like I said in this card here, sometimes you get a bit carried away perhaps with projects, or things that you're wanting to do. You bite off more than you can chew. Just be careful of that. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, but just be mindful of that balance that this person has helped you with, okay? In that, she did mention, the words vata, kapha, pitta. If you actually look up Ayurvedic medicine, you will find that there's certain body types for individuals if you Google this. And so if you are interested in learning more about that to kind of tailor the message, then by all means, there's little quizzes that you can take online. I do believe the Sahara Rose also has a website where you can do that to learn a little bit more. Otherwise, if you don't go that far, just again, rewind and listen to it and feel what resonates for you, okay? What do you identify with in that message? It doesn't matter what your body type is based on Ayurvedic medicine. Just take what feels right for you and what fits, okay? So Cancer, thank you very much for joining me today in your reading. It was absolutely heartbreaking some moments, beautiful in others. The best is yet to come. Hang in there, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.